this the book?
That is the book that everybody's been loving and raving.
All right. Awesome.
And it has a really, really neat. I went with the satin cover.
Yeah.
And in the back, because it has a legacy builder every week. But when you finish the book, there's a declaration in the back.
Okay.
This is supposed to start over here, but on the hardcover it does. For some reason, it did something funny with the pages and stuff. But you read that. If you have a family, you're supposed to read it with your family present.
Okay.
And because it's not just for you at that point, it's for all of them.
Yeah.
And it's basically your commitment to how you're going to live, how you're going to think, what you're going to do. All of the stuff that you're reading wasn't just stuff, it was you declaring a new lifestyle. And then when you're done, you sign your covenant and you date it.
Okay.
You put your name, you date it, and you sign it. Then the challenge was to get another book, a clean book, and you give it to somebody else who needs to go through that.
Okay. That's awesome.
All right, so we're on week 2. Oh, I was showing them the book. See, sweetie?
Oh, this is it?
Yeah. Well, this is the paperback. There's a hardcover that's like a really nice gift option. But I have that one too. I got the editor's version, whatever they call it. It's really cool. Well, I ordered one so that way I have one
There you
at
go.
home. And
This is it?
yeah, that's it.
Wow.
So we're on to week 2. Let me get my glasses on. They're actually clean today. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, week 2. The other group is on week 4 because they started early.
Oh, you sure with the straw?
Yeah.
Yeah, start with the straw. It's the same. All right. The character of God revealed through His people. I thought this was really cool, so I put it in there early because it's something that a lot of Christians and believers and disciples of Jesus and children of God, they need to do. It's not an option. If you are a Christian or a disciple or whatever you want to call yourself, you represent somebody. I mean, and how you represent them to other people, that basically shows other people what He's like. So it's like when we talk about in the Father series, if you want to know about a father, you don't have to meet the father, you just look at the kids. Because the kids are a reflection of Him because they came from Him and they have His characteristics and personality. And if you mesh all the kids together in one, that's who the Father is. Because they're different splits of parts of where they came from. So Habakkuk 2, is that right? Habakkuk.
Yeah.
It's like Russian. Habakkuk 2:14 says, "For the earth will be filled with the knowledge of the glory of the Lord as the waters cover the sea," which basically just means that the earth is filled with what God is like. Also, Ephesians 5:1 and 2 is the verse of the week also. It says, "Therefore become imitators of God as well-beloved children imitate their Father, and walk continually in love. That is, value one another, practice empathy and compassion, and unselfishly seek the best for others." That's a hard one. Just as Christ loved you and gave Himself up for us as an offering and sacrifice to God. I mean, think about what that really means. So not only did He imitate God, but He also made sure that at all times when people thought of Him, they thought of the Father. And that's kind of how we need to be in our day-to-day life. Not just at church, but even when we're in private. Are we still doing things and saying things that would remind people of the Father, even though no one's around? But he's still listening, so he'll want to know. So the principle is the nature of the king is revealed through his kingdom, and throughout history, people judge kings by two things: by the condition of their kingdom, and by the condition of the people. Could you imagine? I mean, I thought about this. So gut straight. They have a lot of great word is spread around. Life-changing stuff can happen there. People have their lives changing there. But let's say, a visitor comes in and everybody's rude. Like they're not like mean, but just stuck up. Like they see him pull up in a old beat up car. These days, 2000, 2004 or whatever. Frankly, that's what I consider old. I feel old.
Yeah, Subaru.
Yeah. But people, it's like, oh, look at what they drove in. And because they're driving new, nicer cars and stuff. And yeah, the finger pointing. They're like, ooh, look at them. And they, ooh, look at their kids. Like, oh, they got trash falling out the back. Could you imagine them coming in because they heard about the great things of God, just like the Queen of Sheba heard about Solomon. So she traveled. She took time out of her schedule. She stopped doing whatever what she was doing with her day-to-day life, and she took a caravan, who knows how far, to go meet this guy. And you get there, and everybody's just being a jerk. How would you would think, well, this isn't what I heard. So this is the kind of people they are. So what kind of people, what are they learning? Who are they learning from? Well, that's kind of the whole point. So other people know God through you, and she observed his servants, his palace, his leadership. He observed his wisdom, the atmosphere around him. Basically the environment that Solomon kind of put himself in. And a lot of people think that God's glory is something like mystical or magical or whatever, but it's actually, glory means weight, and it's also substance, nature, and true essence. Like when we were talking about, I think it was back in the worship series, we were talking about essence, where the essence of an orange is the juice, and that's whatever comes out when you squeeze it. So God's glory is his character, and it's revealed the same way through his wisdom, his goodness, his justice, his love and faithfulness. And his desires are seen through his people, not through him, which is pretty interesting. It's seen through his people, and it's not just in church, but his nature should also be in your home. It should be in whatever business you conduct, in marriages, parenting, friendships, the whole community. And as fathers or leaders, we represent our King. Which brings me to a really cool story. I'm always full of them. Oh my goodness. There's actually several, especially from yesterday, because it started out, I had to study for this big exam. I'm like, so your brain is already shot. You know how we work ourselves to death on Thursdays, and then your arms, everything just was swole. I felt like my brain was swole. Because I was just, so it was like 6 in the morning, and I'm already, I had a brain pump. And I was already dead by 6:30. My boss was like, what's wrong with you? I was like, well, I started doing registry questions. She's like, oh, yay, I'm so happy for you. I'm so excited. Aren't you excited? I'm like, no, I'm not excited.
Not in the least.
Bureaucracy.
All of those
Pure
stupid,
bureaucracy.
big words, and then I had to
Hate
relearn a
stupid
bunch
big
of
words.
stuff, and then I had to go over the physics of the CT machine. I said, I hate that part. I just want to scan people and stick them with a needle.
Freaking
But-
Indian.
Wow. Sounds so evil. Scan people and stick them with a needle.
Yeah. Because
You
it's
sure
fun.
you're not alien?
I'm positive. Maybe.
Probing. Like an awfully alien thing to do.
Do you like cows?
No, I hate cows. I do love pigs, though.
Really? Fascinating.
Very interesting.
You like
So
bacon,
do you
does
like
not like burger.
hairy pigs or do you like bald pigs?
Hairy pigs. That sounds gross. Sounds like a
Pigs
fat.
more closely represent humans.
I don't know, but anyway, I told her about that. She's like, "Oh, you're tired already?" She's like, "You want to go get some coffee?" I'm like, "No, coffee sucks." She's like, "I'm talking about from Starbucks on the first floor." I'm like, "Ooh, Starbucks, okay, let's go." So I have my white mocha caramel
Thingy.
thingy with the Cool Whip on top, and then the caramel, spiraled on top of the Cool Whip. It was a beautiful thing. And this one little Asian girl, she came in, and she brought a patient down, and because I said, well, I look at the day started, so I started sitting in for patients, and she was a sitter with one of the patients, and she just looked so sad. I'm like, so I thought about how Daniel was. Was it Daniel? Yeah, he came in, and because he was serving the king drinks, and I said, "Why is thou so sad today?"
Hezekiah? Habakkuk. It was Habakkuk.
Yeah, it was one of those guys. But he was really sad because his town was being destroyed, and he's sitting over here chilling in luxury, serving the king, fancy drinks and stuff. And the king was asking,
Nehemiah?
Nehemiah, yes, thank you. So I looked at her and said, "Why are you so sad?" She said, "I'm tired." I'm like, "Oh, you've been here all night?" She's like, "No, I just got here." I'm like, well, "Okay, you should have slept." She's like, "No, I didn't sleep. I'm just really tired." I'm like, "Okay." So anyway, say go to Starbucks, it'll make you feel better, I promise. and her eyes just went bing, like, "Starbucks?" I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely." I said, "There's nobody down there right now." I said, "As soon as this patient gets back to the room, see if somebody can cover you, and you just run down to Starbucks and you get a white mocha caramel thingy frap and get the venti, get a large." Yeah, she loved that. But anyway, I was telling her about all of this stuff, and he said, "Well, the day's going to get better." I'm like, no. We had to fire somebody, so it didn't get better. But,
Dang. What do you get fired for?
well, not doing your job, basically. I mean, we train and retrain and tried every different approach we possibly could think of, and this guy was literally just not getting it.
He was
And
not clicky.
the thing that was the last straw was we had a radiologist in the room. We had a nurse, we had a radiologist, and my supervisor was standing in the doorway, and he was on one side of the table and I was on the other. Patient was on the table, slid all the way in. So I figured, well, I'm going to adjust the screen so that, she see it, because we were getting ready. And I just heard a click, click. Pew. I look up, everything is black. So I wasn't going to say, "What did you do?" But I didn't. I caught myself. I said, "What happened?" And he said, "Oh, well, I just hit the red button." I'm like, you hit the red button? It literally shuts the whole machine down. You can't do nothing. It's like an emergency safety.
So, yeah, I was about to say it's an emergency stop.
Yeah, it's an emergency stop. Like if there's a fire or something happens, you can run in there and hit it, shut the machine down, and protect it. Well, he was leaning up against the machine. Keep in mind, this button is like 2 feet away from all the other buttons.
It's separate for a reason.
Not touch.
It's red. It has a triangle.
The warning.
Yeah.
It's got like the Russian two key.
Every warning that you could see that could be a warning, and he still hit it. And And I didn't realize this, but he did it twice
That's a
in less
lesson
than
in
5 days. I'm like, and the doctor walked out pissed. I'm like, great, we just lost our doctor, because he said that he was in a rush trying to get from. He said if we get our patient on the table, we get him ready, he can do that one before he goes and does the anesthesia case. Wow, we lost him.
Dang.
And he was hot. He didn't say anything though. He just walked off shaking his head and with his hands on his hips. I'm like, oh great. He put his hands on his hips, so I know he's mad. So then he come back later in the day, come back and he was gone. He said, well, we had to let such and such go. I said, is it because of that? Well, he said, well, it was a lot of things, but it just wasn't working. I was trying to train him, and the other girl was trying to train him. That was pretty good. Nothing. The spaghetti was not sticking to the wall. So
Boiling it for 45 minutes.
yeah, it was crazy.
Monsters versus aliens.
But I was thinking about that, and I was like, out of all of that stuff, and then I was fixing one person's car, and another person called me and said, hey, my son was upset. I tried to tell him to pull over, calm down, relax. He said he finally pulled over. He hit the curb really hard. Something happened. His wheel is scraping. Now he can't move. And they pushed the car into the Burger King parking lot. And I'm like, crap.
What?
So, okay. So I had to go do that. And then I came back, found out that the AC compressor I was working on, you're trying to, do your Tetris moves to pull it out of the engine. Found out I need to pull the fan to get it out, because I needed about a half-inch more room. And the fan shroud, or the whole fan assembly, it's that was the half-inch I needed.
With Toyota minivans,
Yeah.
if you want to pull the alternator out, you gotta do the same thing.
Yeah, this is a Honda. So Honda and Toyota, I guess they get together and say, hey, you know what's funny? Why don't we make this just small enough to where when the mechanic
we'll make it
has to
super
pull
reliable, and that way nobody touches it. That way it keeps running.
Yeah.
But they do, they mess with you. I think they really mess with you when they do that. GM, you get up there, 3 bolts, comes right out the bottom. Now on Toyota, you gotta pull out the alternator, then you gotta pull out the radiator fan, and then you have to push it through the bottom, through the radiator fan.
When they did an alternator on the Jeep Compass, I had to pull the AC compressor out of the way to get to the alternator.
Sounds about right. But anyway, it was kind of a struggle. But I was thinking, doesn't matter what goes on, you still have to represent the Father in heaven, because when people look at you, that's who they're going to see. They're not going to see God. He's not going to come to him in a dream and say, hey, I'm God.
People are looking for that. That's
They're looking for it, but they're not going to find it, because the only God in their life is you, because you represent him. So you're the mirror to what they're going to see.
You know the uncle in Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Miles Morales' uncle? Hey.
Well, I gotta go see that movie. But anyway, let me go back to that list again. So, when you're looking at the King's nature, or God's nature, not only are they supposed to see it in the people at church, you're gonna see it in your homes, your business, your marriage, your parenting, your friendships, and your community. Just seeing it in the marriage is just something as simple as being faithful to your wife, and not only being faithful to your wife, but exempling the characteristics of love. Because when they don't see that, they go nuts. They malfunction, because they're designed to function with love, and when you don't give it to them, then they malfunction. Just like guys are designed to function with honor. They don't get that, they start to have problems. Their Rubik's Cube is all screwed up and combobulated or whatever. So you gotta function that, and that's just with marriage and parenting, different ball games. All of it, you gotta see God's nature in it. So as fathers or leaders, we represent our King. People often learn about God by watching his children. And if your children only knew God through you as an example, what would they believe about him? Would they see patience? Would they see faithfulness? Would they see integrity or grace? So God's nature becomes visible to other people through you. I mean, they won't see it if you don't show it. So the challenge questions to kind of meditate on this week is, if someone observed your life for just 1 month, what conclusions would they draw about the God you serve? Like if you allowed them, you know how they do in them reality shows where they follow families around, like what's a good one? You know that one with the kids, Nanny 911.
No.
Oh, well, it was a really good show. It was basically about this English nanny who supposedly had these proper techniques on how to raise children.
Oh gosh.
And she would go to these houses where these kids are literally like banshees and just running all over the place. And,
They made a show out of it.
and she would tame, and not tame, but she would help bring structure
Into the house.
into the house. But the first day,
5 a.m.
she said,
Drill sergeant time.
yeah. Well, the first day she just observed.
Yeah.
She just kind of watched just to see what things were like. And then she would draw a conclusion based on she would draw a conclusion on their family values, their structure, what they stand on, all that stuff. She would observe just by looking at them, by their day-to-day life. So if somebody observed your life for a month, would they see God, or would they see him all the time, or would they see one person one day and then another person on church day? I mean, and that's like 24/7, not just it's 5. Like, oh, it's 5. Oh, crap, I forgot my watch. Sitting around somewhere. But it's 5 o'clock. You say, well, I think I observed enough for the day. And they leave, and it's like, oh, thank God he's gone. So then you go back to what you really want to do. I mean, the whole day. If somebody took the whole day and they just observed you, what would they say about the God you serve? What characteristic? These are like the B parts of the question. What is this? Go away. What characteristic of God do you reflect well? Think about that. What characteristic needs growth? What atmosphere exists in your home or in your apartment? Do children associate God? Or do your kids, or your brothers and sisters, or your co-workers, do they associate God with peace or stress? What part of his nature do you want your family to experience through you? Like, what do you want them to see what God is like? Like, what characteristic do you think you would need to be intentional about? Like patience and stuff. For me, it would be patience, because sometimes, when your schedule is like extremely tight and stuff, and you're like, okay, you have from 3:30 to 4:30, you're doing this. Then somebody else will be over at 5, so you gotta get ready for them to come over, whether it is he's picking up the kid or whatever. So you gotta think about, okay, do I need to talk to him about nothing? No, okay, nothing. Great. He's either going through the garage or let him go knock on the door. I'm like, okay, people inside sleeping. And then after that, I was like, okay, well, now I have to remember to eat. So when can I eat? Where's a good stopping point? I need to clean the garage. And then Amy comes out 5 or 6 times, don't say anything. Okay, does she want anything, or is she just being nosy? Or, and it's like, do I stop and chit chat for a second? Do I have time for that? Well, she got to make time. When you see her working out or exercising, or she's trying to get better, so I feel like, okay, how do you critique that without feeling like you're stealing her time? Because that's something that she's trying to do, but you also have things that you want to do. So you have all of this stuff going through the day. Plus, I was thinking about studying for that, and then I thought, I said, God, thank you that the Bible studies are structured, so I don't have to think about it so much, because it seemed like I thought I was gaining time, but it just filled up like quickly. So I thought about that one for me, and I was like, oh, I need patience, because the Bible says, let patience have its perfect work. Because when you're patient, all your work is going to be perfect. You won't have to think about it. It just kind of happens. You just work your way through it. And you could be like literally in the middle of something. Like you could be having an intense moment. Like trying to get that compressor out of the car, and you're sitting there, and then you do the little measuring thing, because this is like 1 inch here. So you stick your finger up there. It's like, how much space do I need to yank this thing out?
1.25
And then you turn it upside down and sideways, and you're trying to pull it on it, and you keeps hitting the stupid radiator fan. And I think, I'm gonna have to pull that fan out. And then somebody's standing there wanting to talk to you. It's like, well, I'm busy right
Getting
now.
it out's the easy part.
Yeah, but
Because you can just cut it out. Just kidding.
I literally thought about just getting my angle grinder and just going, "Nyeh," and then I have a space that I need to get. I'm like, no, this isn't my car. Can't do that. Gotta do it right.
This isn't my car.
But-
That's the difference between a mechanic and a chop shop.
Exactly. But anyway, I was thinking about that. I'm like, okay, how do I example patience? Well, anytime anybody comes up where there's the baby want to come out and just show me some little toy, or Amy coming out just to stand by me, you give them patience. You give them that 15-20 seconds that they're asking for, instead of just like, all right, what do you want? I don't have time. I'm on a tight schedule. I got to do this, and I got to go meet somebody at 6:30, to help them with their car, and blah blah blah. No, just take the time. Just have the patience and take the time, because that 15 seconds may mean nothing to you, but it may mean everything to somebody else. Just like at church, when you're representing God, or you're representing God here, like with our person that serves us. She may not feel like she has a lot of God in her life. And just the patience that you show and the kindness that you show, just in the 5 seconds when they walk by, that could be probably the best part of their shift, because they had maybe a bunch of ingrates and selfish people, and you'll say, well, my eggs are cold, or this tastes weird, or this doesn't look like one egg. It looks like they cut it in half and scrambled that. I mean, you never know. So you want people to see God in everything you do, especially in just the way that you treat them, because it may be the only God they see that day. So, fatherhood challenge for the week is to choose a characteristic. This will be a fun one for you. So think about something that you want people to see. You want that part of God to be shown through you. Like patience, kindness, faithfulness, mercy, generosity, and just kind of intently focus on giving that as often as you can, as much as you can, whenever you have the opportunity, and let that nature of God shine through you. Because there's a lot of things that you're probably good at, and there's a few things that you probably thought, I could probably work on doing that a little bit better. Okay, well, work on that. See what happens. But like I said, sometimes just by you doing that, especially with mercy, that may be the mercy somebody needs to kind of get themselves right back on track. Because some people beat themselves up all the time, and just by you focusing on showing mercy and grace, because you're not used to showing mercy and grace, and you decide to show it one day, that may throw somebody off, but throw them off in a good way. It's like, oh wow, I wasn't expecting that. But I'm going to focus on, well, generosity. Faithfulness. I think that'll be a good one for me. So basically just being, not just faithful to what I do, but being faithful to the people around me by giving them time that they ask for when they come up and ask for it. Instead of just saying, oh, that's nice, okay. And then you go back to what you're doing. Like, no, let's give them the time. See what happens. So focus on that every day and let people experience the nature of God through you. So that way when they look at you, all they see is Him. Just like when the Queen of Sheba looked at Solomon, all she saw was the glory of God. And that's who she actually praised, was Him. She didn't say, oh, God, Solomon, you did such a great job. You're such a great king. She's like, no, glory to your God. Because that's all she sees. So, got to pray it in, but you can always pray it out. And every week has a different prayer. Kind of like it's a theme towards that, like it should be. But Father, help us to reflect your character. Let your nature be seen in our words, our attitude, and our decisions that we have to make today. And let our lives be a testimony of your goodness, and help us to help everyone to experience you through the way we live. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.